Good morning, dear friends, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship at Stony Brook, located on the ancestral lands of the Setakot Nation. My name is Wendy Engelhardt, and I am so happy to serve as your worship associate this morning, along with our service leader, Mike Hoffman, on this first Sunday morning of 2026. Our consulting minister is the Reverend David Mesner, and our director of religious education is Patrick McDevitt. With his permission, I wanted to let you know that Patrick has suffered a medical emergency, so he is not here today with us, but he is now resting comfortably at home. Our thoughts are with him, and we hope to see him back here soon. At any time during the service, please feel free to come forward and place a pebble in the water set there on the table to the right of the entrance. Should you wish to make a promise or let go of one, remember someone, release a bit of pain, or otherwise mark some important event or occasion, please step up to the table and quietly send your thoughts outward as you drop a pebble into the water, mingling those ripples of your intentions with the ripples of those others in our community. We welcome you all, those here in our sanctuary and those attending online. We are one congregation, worshiping together. So let's all say hi and wave to each other through the camera on your left. A very special welcome to any of you who are visiting us or here with us for the first time today, or if you still feel like a newcomer. We are delighted that you are here and look forward to getting to know you. Please plan to stay following the service and join us for coffee hour. Feel free to speak with our friendly folks who are happy to answer any questions that you may have. If you are viewing this service online, please, upon the end of the service, sign out and go to our website for a link to the small group chat to meet others in a smaller setting where you can get to know some of us better. One announcement of importance: the AED in the RE wing is not currently functioning. We are awaiting a new battery in the near future. Finally, we all want to show our appreciation for the poems and readers this morning, but rather than clapping, we ask you to snap, to signify support and to encourage a more focused listening experience during our readings. Well then, I'd like to ask Rich Hall to come up to give this week's UU Minute. Rich.
Good morning. Last week, Tina said that Laura Lesh was the person who was instrumental in connecting her with the fellowship. For me, it was Greg and Dixie. Many of you remember them from before they moved upstate quite a few years ago, and some others might have seen them as our auctioneers last fall at the Goods and Services auction. Let's see. So one Sunday, a few weeks after Linda and I first came to the fellowship 19 years ago in 2007, we found papers on the seats announcing a new music coffee house that Greg and Dixie wanted to start up as a fundraiser. They were asking everyone to vote on the name and also asking for volunteers who would want to help. So Linda and I both thought this might be an interesting thing to be part of. I had tried to make my living playing bass in rock bands in my 20s until I realized that I was addicted to food and shelter. And that I needed to find a more reliable source of income. So Linda had recently recorded a CD of original songs she wrote with her brother, which is what had started us talking at work. So we thought that this would be a good way to use our skills and interests to help the fellowship. It turned out that working with the team of volunteers to create Grounds and Sounds was a lot of fun. So we also started helping out with other fundraisers, the 1890s Fair and the Woodlands Folk Festival and the Goods and Services auction. We discovered that Greg and Dixie lived only 2 blocks from us in Hauppauge, and we became good friends. And through Greg, I got involved with the NERMA group I'm currently playing with. And after 3 years, when Dixie was president of the board, she asked me to join the board to be treasurer. That launched a fascinating learning journey about how volunteer organizations function, and that still fascinates me today. So basically, I love this place, which is why I support it in all the ways that I can. I put a lot into it, but I get an immeasurable amount out. I can't tell you how much being part of this fellowship has changed my life and how much joy it continuously gives me. Well, actually, I could tell you how much, but Wendy has threatened to yank me off with a hook if I go on any longer. So when you're thinking about how much you can pledge this year, think about how much this place means to you, and also think about how much more this place could mean to you if you were more connected. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Rich. Promise, no hook. We enter into the sacred space of worship with the sounding of the bell. Please remain silent until the sound can no longer be heard. We've asked our co-chair of our youth group, Dan Dunmeyer, to come up and light our chalice this morning, while I read a poem by Wendell Berry entitled Our Real Work. It may be that when we no longer know what to do, we have come to do our real work. And when we no longer know which way to go, we have begun our real journey. The mind that is not baffled is not employed. The impeded stream is the one that sings.
Our opening words are from the book Fragrance After Rain by Jaya John. Gratitude is a river. If you live in it, your heart and soul grow supple. You flow with life. If you leave gratitude's river behind, everything you are grows hard, rigid, suffering. Your body, your spirit, your relations, your life. Stay in the river, revolutionary, especially as you work to heal and unpeel the countless layers of oppression that shape your life and the world. Identify your blessings. Name them so they know when you are calling for them. Feed them. They like organic nourishment. Praise them. They will swell. Mantra your names. They will multiply. Rest with them. They will be your fire and dance. Stay in the river of gratitude. It will carry you to your dream home, which is peace. Please rise as you're willing and able to sing our opening hymn, number 38, Morning Has Broken.
Today's Time for All Ages is entitled Daniel Finds a Poem, written and illustrated by Micah Archer. Daniel knows all about rocks, trees, and animals in the park. On Monday morning, Daniel sees something new on the park gate, a sign that reads, "Poetry in the Park, Sunday at 6 o'clock." "What is poetry?" Daniel says. He looks up in surprise when he hears Spider say, "To me, poetry is when morning dew glistens." On Tuesday, Daniel climbs the old oak tree. He sees Squirrel. "Squirrel, do you know what poetry is?" "Why, yes. Poetry is when crisp leaves crunch," Squirrel tells him. On Wednesday, Daniel calls into Chipmunk's hole. "Chipmunk, can you tell me what poetry is?" "Poetry? Poetry is a home with many windows in an old stone wall." On Thursday, Daniel makes a boat with a leaf for a sail and watches the wind carry it across the pond. He calls quietly to Frog, "Excuse me, Frog, what is poetry?" "Poetry," said Frog, "is a cool pool to dive into." On Friday, Daniel parts the cattails and finds Turtle. "Hello, Turtle. I have a question. Do you know what poetry is?" "Oh, I think poetry is sun-warmed sand," Turtle says. On Saturday afternoon, Daniel finds Cricket in the shade of the slide. When the shadows are long, Cricket fills the air with music. "Is this poetry to you, Cricket?" "Singing at twilight when the day is done? Indeed it is, Daniel." That night, moonlight fills Daniel's room. He hears, "Ooh, ooh." Leaning from his window, he calls out to Owl, "Owl, what is poetry?" "Oh, poetry? Poetry is bright stars in the branches, moonlight on the grass, and silent wings to take me wherever I go. Good night, dear Daniel," she whispers, and flies off into the night. On Sunday, the sun wakes up Daniel. He's happy when he remembers it's Sunday. "Today is poetry in the park," says Daniel, "and I have a poem." Morning dew glistens, crisp leaves crunch. There's a home with many windows in the old stone wall, cool pools to dive in, sun-warmed sand to lie in, singing at twilight when the day is done, bright stars in the branches, moonlight on the grass, and silent wings to take me wherever I go. On the way home, Daniel stops to watch the sunset sky reflecting in the pond. "That looks like poetry to me." "To me too," says Dragonfly. And now if we will turn to the back of our hymnal and sing our children out to their RE classes.
Poetry is one of humanity's oldest forms of artistic expression. For centuries, people from all cultures have used poetry to communicate complex feelings, tell stories, and capture fleeting moments in language that resonates long after the words are spoken or read. At its core, poetry is about distilling experiences, emotions, and ideas into a concentrated form. Unlike prose, poetry often relies on rhythm, rhyme, and vivid imagery to create a unique musical quality. This can make even everyday moments feel extraordinary as poets and musicians paint pictures with words that invite us to see the world through new perspectives. Poetry can provide comfort and understanding when we face difficult emotions. It can inspire empathy by letting us step into someone else's shoes. I really like this line suggested by ChatGPT. Whether it's the haunting verses of Edgar Allan Poe, the romantic sonnets of Shakespeare, or the modern free-form lines of Amanda Gorman, poetry offers us a bridge to connect with others and with ourselves. I thought we'll start in a bit with work from these three poets. You don't have to be a poet to appreciate poetry. Sometimes, the simple act of reading or listening to a poem can unlock feelings or ideas we didn't know we had. Poetry asks us to slow down, reflect, and find meaning in the ordinary. It's a reminder that language is not just a tool for communication, but also an art form, capable of moving us, challenging us, and bringing us together. This is my 4th annual New Year's poetry service. I love this tradition we have created together. The poems you will hear are either written by our own fellowship members or our favorite poems they submitted. Thanks to all of you who've contributed. Instead of our usual minute of meditation today, we'll allow a short moment of silence after each poem to let the words absorb into our consciousness.
Our first poem is A Dream Within a Dream by Edgar Allan Poe. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow. You are not wrong who deem that my days have been a dream, yet it is hope has flown away. In a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore the less gone? All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep while I weep, while I weep. Oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see or seem but a dream within a dream?
Yeah, get used to it. The next poem is Love Sonnet 18 by William Shakespeare. May sound familiar to some of you, at least the first lines. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed. And every fair from fair sometimes declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shade shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag you, thou wanderedst in its shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long this and this gives life to these. Thank you. While we are all familiar with Shakespeare and Poe, you may not know Amanda Gorman. I'll tell you a little about her. As noted in Wikipedia, she is a poet, activist, and model. I didn't know that. Her work focuses on issues of oppression, feminism, race, and marginalization, as well as the African diaspora. Gorman was the first person to be named National Youth Poet Laureate. At the age of 17, she published her first poetry book, The One for Whom Food is Not Enough. That was in 2015. She rose to fame in 2021 for writing and delivering her poem, The Hill We Climb, at the inauguration of Joe Biden. This poem generated international acclaim, and shortly thereafter, 2 of her books achieved bestseller status. Gorman was highlighted in Time magazine's 100 Next list under the category of Phenoms, with a profile written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. That same month, Gorman became the first poet to perform at the Super Bowl when she delivered her poem, Chorus of the Captains. She performed this next poem titled With This Bright Voice at the 2025 UNICEF Giving Tuesday Gala just this past December 2nd, 2025. With this bright voice, we speak, audacious and audible. Our purpose, not just ethical, but eternal. For while every child is rightfully unique, the right to childhood is universal. We must care for every child everywhere, no matter the race, religion, or gender. In this, we never back down, never surrender, because every child deserves a chance, and this world deserves a change. We might not always merit the earth, but every child shall inherit it. Quiet is the most dangerous violence, for the loudest bombs are those met with silence. Through ordeals of conflict and crisis, malady and misfortune, we fight for the family and organize for the orphan. We free the chained and feed the hungry because, in a world of chaos, peace is ridden by the young. Any war is already lost if the cost is any kid killed. Compassion is not foolish weakness, it is our fiercest well. We shall grow our strength, not by how we triumph in a war, but how we try for peace. We shall show our success, not by how we suppress those hardest to rule, but the hardest to reach. We shall show our spirit not by how we defeat our enemies, but how we defend the exiled. More importantly, we shall know ourselves not by how we champion those in power, but how we empower the child. This promise is our future, our planet, our home. Let us not Thus, let us not pass on our wisdom to the young. Let the young's wisdom surpass our own. With this bright voice, we speak, audacious and audible. What yesterday we might have called obstacles, today we call opportunities. As unstoppable, we respond in every strife and struggle because every child is phenomenal. And to every child we are responsible. This is not just purpose. Now more than ever, it is possible. I'd like to ask Gilda Candela to come up and read her own original poem titled, I Saw Your Trees This Morning.
Good morning. So I wrote this poem in the autumn of 2008, and recently I had been thinking about it, not knowing where it was. And fortunately, I went on a decluttering project tear, and I came across it. I was so happy. It's actually a letter to the Creator, or the supreme architect of the universe, whatever you want to call him, her, it. I saw your trees this morning. You dressed them up, I see. Their personalities are evident by the colors you've chosen. I really love the crimson. I want one like that. So bold and empowered, playful and full of joy. One meaning of my name is joy. I didn't always know that. I didn't always feel that way either. So sad, so drab, so alone. What kind of tree am I? I'd ask when I was little. A weeping willow? A Japanese maple? An evergreen? So today, I was walking, and I realized I am every tree I see, and they are me. And our moods change as time passes, and you care about each and every leaf as you care about every need I have. And so, the trees breathe on me, and I return the favor. And as I take in their beauty, it's reflected in my eyes. They can see me too. They're glad I saw them all dressed up. I think I'll wear red today.
Continuing with the theme of trees, Joanne Hammer will now read the poem Trees by Joyce Kilmer.
Okay, I'm short. So a little personal story first, before I read the poem. The year was 1949. I was 7 years old, in second grade at St. James Elementary School. It was the day before Thanksgiving, that Wednesday, and all of us children were just beginning to settle down for the day. We were bustling about, not really attentive in our seats, when the awful news came that our little classmate, Peter, had been hit by a bus as he was waiting for the bus on the corner of Woodlawn and Lake Avenue, and he had been killed. Well, it was startling, horrific news for us little beings at that point. We asked ourselves, how does that happen? It hit me like a big wave or pressure or pressure had descended upon me. Stunning almost, breathtaking. My little self didn't know what to do with it. It was just so sudden, like nothing I had ever experienced before. Peter sat next to me. We were all in rows at that time, you remember that. And he was lined up with me in the next row beside me. And there was his empty seat. Well, back in those days, that was 76 years ago, my goodness, we didn't have counselors or psychologists to help us sort out our feelings or understand our feelings or identify our feelings, goodness knows, to help us deal with this awful, sudden, inexplicable loss of a dear, frail little classmate. So somehow we trudged on with this mind-boggling event present somewhere in our emerging selves. However, on the bright side, someone with some emotional intelligence in those dark ages thought that it would be a good idea if we, Peter's last class, planted a tree in his memory. What an idea. Hurrah, that person. Hurrah for that person. And that's what we did. In the spring of 1950, on a warm, sunny day, probably April or May, I can almost feel it now, we planted a tree on the northeast corner of the school property. When the tree had been planted, we surrounded the tree. I think we held hands and recited an unforgettable poem, which I shall do for you now. Trees by Joyce Kilmer, and that was written in 1913. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree whose hungry mouth is pressed against the earth's sweet flowing breast, a tree that looks at God all day and lifts her leafy arms to pray, a tree that may in summer wear a nest of robins in her hair, upon whose bosom snow has lain, who intimately lives with rain. Poems are made by fools like me, but only God can make a tree.
So Pam Plate will now read our next poem, titled Sadness by Rachel Berghash.
This is a short poem on sadness by Rachel Berghash, who is my mentor and friend of 45 years. My sadness is greater than me. Before sleep it turns rock hard, warding off any thought of comfort. It dwells below my chest, quickening my breath. Don't be frightened by sadness, said the great poet. Let it stir you, bring you closer to yourself.
It is our spiritual practice to share our offering plate with an organization working for a more just future. For the month of January, our shared plate recipient is the Butterfly Effect Project. This organization is devoted to creating safe spaces for youth to dream and succeed, with a special commitment to those whose voices are often overlooked. Starting in 2014 with just 8 girls, today there are 31 chapters, mostly on Eastern Long Island, serving both boys and girls. They provide opportunities for learning, leadership, and just plain fun. They have a garden club, arts program that includes dance teams and a monologue club, and social justice programming. They also support career preparation through job readiness classes, a Future Teachers of Tomorrow program, in-person tutoring, and a college access program that enables youth to receive personal guidance on college applications, SAT prep, and financial planning. Their college retention program supports students as they navigate the college experience. Please give generously in support of this amazing organization. For those who worshiped online, we need your donations too, and the link to donate is in the comments now, and also on the homepage of our website. Now for today's offertory, instead of a song, Clinton Hubbard will now read a favorite poem of his, and mine, frankly, titled A Modern Man by George Carlin. Clinton?
Good morning. I guess this is a piece about anxiety, or what you should say in the 60s, alienation. And does anxiety ever leave us? Well, not in my lifetime, but I will say, I guess as you age, you get a little wiser and able to deal with it. This is A Modern Man by George Carlin. I'm a modern man, a man for the millennium, digital and smoke-free, a diversified, multicultural, postmodern deconstructionist, politically and atomically and ecologically incorrect. I've been uplinked and downloaded, I've been input and outsourced. I know the upside of downsizing, I know the downside of upgrading. I'm a high-tech lowlife, a cutting-edge, state-of-the-art, bi-coastal multitasker, and I can give you a gigabyte in a nanosecond. I'm new wave, but I'm old school, and my inner child is outward bound. I'm a hot-wired, heat-seeking, warm-hearted, cool customer, voice-activated, and biodegradable. I interface with my database. My database is in cyberspace, so I'm active, I'm hyperactive, and from time to time, I'm radioactive. Behind the 8-ball, ahead of the curve, riding the wave, dodging the bullet, pushing the envelope. I'm on point, on task, on message, and off drugs. Oh, lost myself here. I lost myself here. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm on point, on task, on message, and off drugs. I got no need for coke and speed. I got no urge to binge and purge. I'm in the moment, on the edge, over the top, and under the radar. A high-concept, low-profile, medium-range ballistic missionary. A streetwise smart bomb. A Top Gun bottom feeder. I wear power ties, I tell power lies, I take power naps, I run victory laps. I'm a totally ongoing Bigfoot slam dunk rainmaker with a proactive outreach. A raging workaholic, a working rageaholic, out of rehab and in denial. You can't shut me up, you can't dumb me down, because I'm tireless and I'm wireless. I'm an alpha male on beta blockers. I'm a non-believer and an overachiever, laid back but fashion forward, upfront, low down, low rent, high maintenance, supersized, long-lasting, high definition, fast acting, oven ready, and built to last. I'm a hands-on, foot-loose, knee-jerk head case, prematurely post-traumatic, and I have a love child who sends me hate mail. But I'm feeling, I'm caring, I'm healing, I'm sharing. A supportive, bonding, nurturing, primary caregiver. My output is down, but my income is up. I take a short position on a long bond, and my revenue stream has its own cash flow. I read junk mail, I eat junk food, I buy junk bonds, I watch trash sports. I'm gender specific, capital intensive, user friendly, and lactose intolerant. I like rough sex. I like tough love. I use the F word in my email, and the software on my hard drive is hardcore, no soft porn. I bought a microwave at a mini mall. I bought a minivan at a megastore. I eat fast food in the slow lane. I'm toll-free, bite-sized, ready to wear, and I come in all sizes. A fully equipped, factory-authorized, hospital-tested, clinically proven, scientifically formulated medical miracle. I've been pre-washed, pre-cooked, preheated, pre-screened, pre-approved, pre-packaged, post-dated, freeze-dyed, double-wrapped, vacuum-packed, and I have an unlimited broadband capacity. I'm a rude dude, but I'm the real deal. Lean and mean, cocked, locked, and ready to rock. Rough, tough, and hard to bluff. I take it slow. I go with the flow. I ride with the tide. I got glide in my slide. Driving and moving, sailing and spinning, jiving and grooving, wailing and winning. I don't snooze, so I don't lose. I keep the pedal to the metal and the rubber to the road. I party hardy, and lunchtime is crunch time. I'm hanging in there, there ain't no doubt, and I'm hanging tough, over and out.
Now please rise in body or spirit and sing with us hymn number 123, Spirit of Life.
For those who didn't know them, John and Ginger Williams were longtime members of this fellowship, and both wrote poetry. I like to read one of Ginger's, I Like My God Plain, in her book entitled Restringing the Beads. And just for context clues, Ginger wrote this one in all lowercase letters. I like my God plain. Plain and raw like a radish, plain like water from a tin tap, cool on a sweet summer day. Plain like white sneakers, the lace-up kind, with no Velcro and no brand names. I like my God plain, no frills, no coupons, no packaging in slick shrink wrap. Plain the way John writes. His name in block print on all his books and legal pads. Plain, like the kind of God you can say anything to, like, wow, or help, or thanks. And she gets it. I like my God plain, like pita and goat cheese with a white wine communion. Such a God would drink tea with me on the back porch, praise the doves, admire the budding leaves. For Kate.
This next poem is by Ginger's loving husband, John. This is titled Finding Lost Things, in his book entitled Skipping Stones. It is a dream of mine that I might find an ancient papyrus in the desert sand, maybe a lost play of Sophocles, or perhaps scriptures of a forgotten sect in sealed cylinders in a cave in Upper Egypt. I always felt bad about that library in Alexandria getting destroyed, but some things are probably just scattered around. Maybe, though, something not as old, the score of a lost Haydn concerto in an old drawer in a house in Saxony. Some people don't really do a thorough house cleaning all that often. 50 years ago, Paul and I put messages in a bottle and sealed the top with melted paraffin, buried it in the backyard. Maybe someday someone will find that, but they would have to decipher the writing, figure out the date, 1949, in the system that was used several millennia before their times. I like giving someone else a chance. I'll probably never discover anything that old, but I do like finding a scrap of paper with your poem underneath the car seat and feeling how the words sing to me. Now I will ask Shelley Pasaris to come up and read a poem, A Sacrament, by Paul Ann Peterson.
The poem I'm about to read is one from a wonderful book entitled Poetry of Presence, an anthology of mindfulness poems. I have found comfort in them during the first year of the passing of my dear husband, Tony. Become that high priest, the bee. Drone your way from one fragrant temple to another, nosing into each altar. Drink what's divine, and while you're there, let some of the sacred cling to your limbs. Wherever you go, leave a small trail of its golden crumbs. In your wake, the world unfolds its rapture, the fruit of its blooming. Rooms in your house fill with that sweetness your body both makes and eats.
This next poem was submitted by Carol Castillo, entitled, When You Hit Yourself with an Axe While Chopping Wood, by Tamika Becik. Becik, born in 1968 in Zagreb, Croatia, is a writer, graphic artist, and translator. He's authored 5 poetry collections. His first book of poetry, Southern Cross, is a unique anti-war testimony in verse. It was awarded a national prize for young authors. He was a longtime editor for poetry in translation at the Croatian literary magazine Pozija. Tried. When you hit yourself with an axe while chopping wood, you don't think about poetry then, or about great deeds, or about politics. You don't defy God. You are as small as a pea as you wait for the pain to go away. When you're riddled with shrapnel from a mortar grenade, you don't think about the effect you have on women or about the national anthem. You crawl under a rock as you wait for the pain to go away. When the prison door bangs shut behind your back, that's when you think about freedom. Next up, we have Elise Nichols Powell reading a poem by Paul Laurence Dunbar titled, "We Wear the Mask."
Paul Laurence Dunbar was born in 1872, and he died in Ohio in 1906 of tuberculosis, and then there was no cure for that disease. He was one of the first African American writers to establish an international reputation, and he also wrote, among other things, The Miseducation of the Negro. We wear the mask. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile with torn and bleeding hearts. We smile and mouth with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but, oh great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet, and long the mile. But let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask.
This next poem is in the collection Winter Poems, selected by Barbara Rogaski, entitled Cat on a Night of Snow by Elizabeth Coatsworth. Cat, if you go outdoors, you must walk in the snow. You will come back with little white shoes on your feet, little white shoes of snow that have heels of sleet. Stay by the fire, my cat. Lie still. Do not go. See how the flames are leaping and hissing low? I will bring you a saucer of milk like a marguerite, so white and so smooth, so spherical and sweet. Stay with me, cat. Outdoors the winds blow. Outdoors the wild winds blow, mistress, and dark is the night. Strange voices cry in the trees, intoning strange lore. And more than cats move, lit by your eyes' green light, on silent feet where the meadow grasses hang hoar. Mistress, there are portents aboard of magic and might, and things that are yet to be done. Open the door. Please rise as you are willing and able to sing our hymn number 350, The Ceaseless Flow of Endless Time. Bethany will play the hymn all the way through before we start singing. Our closing words are by Ralph Waldo Emerson, titled, "This is my wish for you." This is my wish for you: comfort on difficult days, smiles when sadness intrudes, rainbows to follow the clouds, laughter to kiss your lips, sunsets to warm your heart, hugs when spirits sag, beauty for your eyes to see, friendships to brighten your being, faith so that you can believe, confidence for when you doubt, courage to know yourself, patience to accept the truth, and love to complete your life.
I've been lately thinking about my life's time, all the things I've done and how it's been, and I can't help believing in my own mind. I know I'm gonna hate to see it end. Well, I've seen a lot of sunshine, slept out in the rain, spent a night or two all on my own. I've known my lady's pleasures, had myself some friends, spent a time or two in my own home. I have to say it now, it's been a good life all in all. It's really fine to have a chance to hang around and lie there by the fire and watch the evening tire as all my friends, my old lady sitting, pass the pipe around and talk of poems and prayers and promises, things that we believe in. How sweet it is to love someone, how right it is to care. How long it's been since yesterday, and what about tomorrow? What about our dreams and all the memories we share? Well, the days they pass so quickly now, the nights are seldom long. Time around me whispers when it's cold. The changes somehow frighten me, still I have to smile. It turns me on to think of growing old. For though my life's been good to me, there's still so much to do. So many things my mind has never known. I've loved raising my family, but I'd like to sail away and dance across the mountains on the moon. Well, I have to say it now, it's been a good life all in all. It's really fine to have a chance to hang around and lie there by the fire and watch the evening tire, while all my friends and my old lady sit and pass the pipe around and talk of poems and prayers and promises, things that we believe in. How sweet it is to love someone, how right it is to care. How long it's been since yesterday, what about tomorrow? And what about our dreams and all the memories we share?